welcome to How to Decenter Dating. This is part 2 to the other video I made, Decentering Dating in a Relationship-Obsessed Queer Culture. This video is going to be more around practical tips that you personally can take in your own life to decenter dating and get your life back. Stop wasting so much time and emotional turmoil on other people. We're going to get to the root issue and give hard-hitting advice from my own personal experience. So let's do it. Number 1, and this is by far the most important one, and if you get this one down, then a lot of the other tips are kind of like side effects of this main tip, which is that you need to build an unshakable foundation of support outside of dating. This tip helps you with decentering dating. This tip helps you with decentering anything ever. Your career is dominating your life. What are we gonna do? We're gonna build a robust, rich, unshakable foundation of support and identity outside of my career, such that if my career goes down, then the other parts of me still are afloat and I'm still okay. Even if I have the worst breakup ever, I still have a good relationship with my mom. I still have my fitness, I still have my mental health, I still have friendships, I still have these other categories of your life. Think about any investment account. You diversify your portfolio. You don't invest every single penny you own into one stock. You spread it out between a few different stocks, all of which are pretty stable and doing relatively well. It puts you in a situation such that even though individual companies may go up and down, at the end of the day, it's gonna all average out to be slowly trending upward. Take that same strategy and apply it to your life. And it doesn't have to be like a million people. Like literally, if you have 2 to 3 strong, supportive, level-headed friends, that's fantastic. You need one fun hobby. Career can be one, family can be one, health can be one, and all of those things help inform you as a holistic, well-rounded, and ultimately stable person. Get just as serious about building that unshakable foundation as you would be about finding your future wife. It matters just as much, if not more. Why should we assign such an insane amount of value to romantic partnership and not spend the same amount of time on friendships or on family? Why does one get way more than the other? And that doesn't even make sense, because think about it. Romantic relationships are one of the most likely things to fail. So it doesn't even make sense that you would put all your eggs in that one basket. That basket has a big ass hole in it, and most of the eggs you put in there fall out anyway. Meanwhile, friendships, you can have many of them. They can last for decades and decades. They let you evolve more freely. Sounds like a great deal to me. Think of it that way in your head and prioritize it as such in your life. Only when you don't need somebody can you actually choose them intentionally. Because I'm not acting out of this desperation of like, oh, I have no one to support me emotionally, I have no one to talk to. That is a feeling of desperation, and you're picking somebody because you just need somebody in the role, and not because you see all the different options and you can pick one based off of who they are. And think about how much more respectful that is to your future partner. Wouldn't you much rather be chosen for your specific traits instead of just yanked because you're the first one who agreed off the street to fill this slot? And honestly, it's wrong to bring someone into your life out of that desperation and put all of these assumed responsibilities on them about how they're actually gonna cure your deep loneliness or something, when they have no idea that's what they're signing up for, and that's really not even their burden to bear. And so you're putting them in a race they could never win, and that's actually really mean to do to someone else. So not only is it your responsibility to balance out your life, but you're hurting not only yourself, but you're literally hurting other people if you keep dragging them into your like hurricane like this. The best relationships are one in which both partners know that if they did something bad enough, then their partner would leave them. They have respect for themselves, and they could function without you if they really had to. Think about it. If there's a relationship where you think no matter what you do, your partner would never leave you, that's how you get into like fucked up, like abusive, toxic situations. The threat that it might end is what makes you want to continue to show up and grow and evolve, and like 30 years into the marriage, you're still making the effort to make your partner happy because you know they could leave. Am I crazy? I don't know. I feel like there's probably a better way to say that, but you get the idea. Second thing, that insatiable thing inside you is never going to be fulfilled by a partner. Ooh. Who said that? Who said that? Some of the things that you assume a partner can give to you, they actually could never give to you. One of the nice trickle down effects of having that diversified support group is that you're not placing the expectation on your partner to be everything to you. And I think we can get into a lot of trouble when we have this like secret list of things that we need from our partner that we don't ever tell them about. And in fact, they should intuitively know what I need just because like they're my soul mate. Notice how I put air quotes around that, because that's a social construct that is completely man-made. But okay, I was so shocked to search this up, but 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's crazy. And I think a big part of it is having this unfinished business and expecting your partner to finish your business instead of you taking it on as your responsibility. Instead of projecting that onto other partners and assuming, oh, everyone else needs to figure out how to love me the right way, and everyone else needs to figure out how to talk to me in the right way so that if they say it just right, I'll feel perfectly supported. No, a lot of the time you need to look in the mirror and take accountability for your own problems instead of assuming that someone else is going to come along and fix your problem. If your problem is a deep loneliness, or if your problem is feeling like you're not valid in your queer identity without being with a partner, no matter what you do, go running around trying to get other people to fix your problem for it. It's like trying to drive your car by turning the wheel, but you haven't even turned it on. It's not going anywhere. Like, you had the right idea, like eventually like that could be kind of helpful, but like you have to face yourself, or else you're going to be wasting time going around trying to get everybody else to fix the problem for you. They don't even know what you're talking about. They're also trying to fix their own hidden agenda too. And most of the time people are either going to A, be like, this is impossible and walk away and leave you, or B, even if they tried to do it, they still wouldn't be able to because it's impossible. Your unaddressed anxiety is insatiable unless you come around and address it yourself. Have you seen like that cartoon and this guy is like in jail and he's behind bars and he's like this, oh my God, can someone come help me? And he doesn't realize that if he were to turn his head, there's no walls on either side of the bars and he could just walk his own way out. That's a metaphor for this whole conversation. Okay, number 3, be a lot more emotionally vulnerable and dependent on friends. Yeah, so this just kind of takes number 1 a step further. Not only do you want to diversify your support, but you want to be emotionally vulnerable and depend on these people. I don't think there's anything wrong with having your partner be like your best friend and someone you tell everything to, but I think it's so easy to get deep into that relationship and they're like your only person you tell anything to. That's when you get into a problem. And I think if you're someone who's single right now, it's a great time to be building your support group and pushing yourself, even if it's a little uncomfortable, to lean on each other. A lot of like feeling of loneliness that people try to solve by getting a romantic partner, a lot of that could be solved by getting deeper friend connections. There are certain things that we do only with romantic partners, like, oh, me and my girlfriend want to date to the movies. Why couldn't you do that with a friend? And I guarantee you other people out there would want to do that with you too. So don't miss out on a whole part of life just because you don't have like a romantic partner to do it with. Oh, I'm never going to Hawaii because that's only a vacation trip. That is stupid. You're putting yourself in, again, back to the jail emoji, you're stuck behind bars. I can't go to Hawaii. Babe, walk around the bars. You can go to Hawaii. You can get a girls trip and go to Hawaii. I also would suggest that if your friends are very relationship obsessed themselves, either their own relationship is like endless drama or they're like dating around and going through endless drama, they're just not on the same page with you with decentering dating, it's not the worst idea to hang out with friends that are more aligned with the page that you're on right now. Because I think when you're just like constantly talking about this girl, that girl, I went on this date, I hooked up with this person, like, oh, we broke up again, like, oh my God, it's like, damn, I decenter dating, but no, I didn't, because everyone else is bringing that shit right back to the center. Number 4, raise your standards, shrink your dating pool, and lose interest in inconsistency. Bada bing, bada boom, bingo, bingo, bingo. Another thing that makes dating so addicting is like there's like a dopamine hit involved. If you match with somebody on Hinge and it's like this baddie, I'm like, oh my God, I just matched with a baddie. Like, you feel good, you feel validated, you're getting like notifications popping up. All of those things are giving you a little dopamine hit. And the hard truth is that If you want to decenter dating, and also if you want to find a legit, healthy, long-term partner, you're gonna have to raise your standards and overall go on less dates and have less of that fun little dopamine hit stuff. That's the trade-off. I really am a big fan of cutting things off with people as soon as you know it's not really going anywhere. Don't waste any of your precious life energy on something that's either A, going nowhere, or B, is like inconsistent and pretty much just putting you through day-to-day turmoil. That is not a secure, healthy bond growing. That is like just some cheap little dopamine hits and entertainment. And let me tell you something. If you have step one figured out, which is an unshakable foundation, coming back to that, all comes back to that. You don't have the time to be doing this like wishy-washy back and forth bullshit. And honestly, if you're trying to date people and you open Google Calendar and you look down and just every single day is just wide open, next thing you know, you've known this person for a week and you're like on your 5th date. That'll make no damn sense. Don't act like I'm crazy. You know lesbians do stuff like that. If it's not obvious, I'm a lesbian. My point is, if you had a full busy life, you wouldn't be free all the damn time. You would have other priorities. You can't text them back every 2 minutes. That's good. You shouldn't be like so endlessly available, and you shouldn't just drop all of your priorities just to text some random stranger back from the internet. People should have to earn their way up to that point in your life. So definitely cut off inconsistency sooner. That's gonna save you a lot of time and just like pointless, addictive drama, and will really help you decenter dating because your brain isn't like on some kind of hunt to close the loop and like get another hit. No. The other thing is to prioritize in-person interaction or calls instead of pointless texting. That also reduces the addictive dopamine hit and weeds out people who have no life. Because tell me I'm wrong. If someone has time to text you all day, they're a loser. And if you have time to text someone back all day, then you're a loser. I know. And the other thing is, honestly, if you date a lot and you're always going on a ton of dates with just anybody and your standards are kind of low and you're getting ghosted all the time or whatever, you just get really jaded. I just think you get to this point where you're like, oh, like this is so hard to find somebody and nobody's worth shit. And I think you need to take some responsibility for having low standards sometimes. Like, you wouldn't be so exhausted by everyone taking your energy if you didn't just let everyone take your energy all the time. So don't be jaded. Lock the fuck in. Number 7, there is something worse than being single. It's being in an unhappy relationship. Oh my God. If you've been there, you know that's the truth. One of my favorite things to see, this is so evil, I don't care. One of my favorite things to see, especially when I like first got single out of a breakup, was a couple just fighting in public. They're bitching each other out in the Walmart aisle. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Couldn't be me though. And so I just feel like that's a reality check to like snap back to, is not all couples are happy, and there is something worse than being single, and that's in being in a bad relationship. At least if you're single, you have the possibility of meeting someone who could be a great partner. But if you're in a relationship with someone who's not a great partner, it's kind of like you're doomed. It's like, well, damn, I gotta at least break up with him first, then be single for a little bit, then I gotta go back out. Like, damn, I got my work cut out for me. But if you're single, you're like, you got that base, and so you're more ready. Number 5, use your free will and do random stuff. And notice when you're watering yourself down, and quit doing that. Okay, that's kind of 2 in 1. When you're single, you have the opportunity of a lifetime to do spontaneous stuff. You go on a solo trip, and on that solo trip, babe, you're just picking out whatever you want to do as your itinerary. I want to go to coffee 5 times that day. Okay, I just do it. That's quirky. That's fun. Weird shit. Doesn't matter what it is. This is my idea of fun one time. I went to the grocery store and got all the ingredients to make a Taco Bell Crunchwrap dupe at home. And I made like 5 of those. And then I watched a documentary about tacos while I ate it on my couch. Bro, I was straight chilling. I was so happy. Also, when you're single, you don't have to like filter yourself through a lens of like what your partner wants you to be. A lot of times when you're in a relationship, you feel like your partner loves it when you look this way, so I'm gonna dress that way. I'm gonna keep my hair this way because I know they like it that way. And that's a sweet intention, but the fun of being single is that you can pick what you wanna do, what you wanna look like, who you wanna be, based off of nobody else's opinion but your own. Caveat, if you're in like a I'm trying to be hot type of situation, you end up over filtering yourself to like be extra cool and mysterious. So I really want you to fight that urge to try to look super hot. Don't do that. And think about it. It's actually a disingenuous approach. You're actually being very fake. And it's actually wrong to the people that you are attracting and getting into entanglements with, because you're false advertising. You are robbing people of the chance to get to know you for being your true self by not presenting as your true self. Listen, this video I'm making right now, it's kind of crazy to make a long form video talking about decentering dating and going into all these personal anecdotes and then posting it publicly on the internet for everyone to see. You don't think I get like a little freaked out before I press publish on some shit like this? I do. But guess what? If you're seeing this video right now, I got the balls and I pressed publish on this thing. Why? Because I have goals. I want to help people. I like the video. I think it has value. So if some future girl is looking at this and thinks, this is so cringe, I'm not gonna hit Claire up, fine. Then we wouldn't have been a good match, because I'm dead ass like this in real life, but worse. And one thing I would encourage people to do that I found helpful is after a breakup when I'm like recalibrating to being single, whenever I saw something that inspired me, I took note of it. And I just started being really observant of my own interests. I'm scrolling TikTok and I rewatch it 3 times. I just think, oh, that she just looks so cool or something. I save it. And I started building up a folder. And then from there, I started to have a better sense of self and understanding of, okay, what would Claire do if Claire didn't have to filter herself through a partner, or if I could do anything and be anything I wanted. And I found, okay, I'm saving all these recipe videos. Okay, so I want to cook more. Anything I felt jealous about, like saw someone that went on some trip, or I saw someone wear this cool outfit. Jealousy is such a good tool. It points you to exactly what you want. I'm jealous that you took a cool trip. Okay, that means I want a cool trip for myself. So I started taking literal note of those things and composing almost like a file. And then over time, I started to see common themes of like categories of things I wanted to do. And then I just started putting things on my calendar that went towards that. Like I went surfing at 6 a.m. 2 weeks ago. I made a video in one of my YouTube vlogs, and that was one of those things. Take yourself and your wants and your bucket list, and even the silly stuff like I want to dress cool and take a cool outfit picture. Take that shit seriously. As much as you would give that love or prioritize something with a partner, give that shit to yourself. Durr. And the other thing is, never say no to something just because you don't have someone to go with. Once I learned how to do things alone, oh my God, the world just like tripled in size when you're less afraid of doing stuff by yourself. And then another point that I really want to talk about is if you're used to using a lot of willpower and you're smart and you're hardworking and you try to apply that into dating, you're going to learn that that doesn't work. I would get into a relationship and think that if I try hard enough and if I like analyze it enough and if I read enough books and then if I talk to my partner in just like the perfect way, then I can get what I want and make this the perfect relationship if I just work hard enough. And the hard truth is like that does not work with relationships. It's a two-way street. You both need to be committed to this ideal. The other thing is compatibility is a thing, okay? If they fundamentally don't want something that you fundamentally do, you're at odds and it's never gonna happen. Working harder is literally only going to increase your frustration and keep bringing up the same old wound that y'all don't want the same thing, and it's gonna go over and over and over again. And the faster we can accept that and see it clearly, and the more we can take our personal ego out of it, and again, have less of that like desperate energy that like this must work out really is, the better. Instead of trying to force everything into submission, which just leaves you exhausted. Okay, last one is to go into dating with specific intentions instead of just reacting to other people or placating your personal insecurities. Number 1 is a dating detox. I really see the value after you get out of a relationship to not date for a while, because I think it's really important to recalibrate to being single and have that be your new definition of normal instead of your definition of normal being in a relationship, because then it just becomes really easy to just like plop another person into that partner's slot in your life and then just keep it pushing, whereas that gets you in a position again of choosing out of desperation instead of out of intentional, thoughtful choosing of that partner. partner. And then I also think taking time to enter a relationship is a huge part of ultimately getting towards a healthy long-term partnership. People who have high standards, people who have a unshakable foundation of support, they gradually promote you throughout the ranks and they make you earn it. They don't just give it up easy. Imagine someone going around being like, yeah, I dated her. She was so easy. I will be dead before someone can say it. There's not anyone that can say that about me. Bro, I sat here and talked so long, the sun set. In conclusion, let your freak out. The power of knowing that you don't have to go find satisfaction from some soulmate person is actually a very peaceful feeling that, oh, I actually have everything I need right here within my own self to soothe my own anxiety, to pursue my dreams. I don't have to wait around to find the perfect person to do it with me. It's actually very liberating to feel like I don't have to wait on anybody. My life can start today. Being single is not just a short phase. You are alone with yourself your entire fucking life. And it's on you to make your life the best it can be. So let's start on that today. Oh my God, give me a megaphone. I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling, oh, what's that SpongeBob meme where he's like getting lifted up from the ground? That's how I feel right now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I post videos like this and I post weekly vlogs. How about you guys leave your tips in the comments to other people? And if you watched all the way to this very end, leave a comment saying hell yeah, plus whatever emoji you want. Thank you guys for watching. And if you subscribe, I will see you next week. Bye.